Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
So
Good
very
evening,
happy
sir.
to see you again, sir, on the call. Very nice to see you. So I will, apart from your war experience, sir, I will be asking you the message that you would like to share with our air warriors out of the learnings from Indian Air Force. What could be the message, sir, for our air warriors?
No, the youngsters is that, well, my grandfather
Sir.
told me when I was going for the leaving for joining the Air Force,
Sir.
he said, just do whatever you have to
Sir.
do it with total conviction and total devotion.
Okay, that is a great message, sir. Do whatever you do with total conviction and devotion. That's the message. That's all.
Yes.
Total
So you know it and you have said it. So anyway,
And
that
I
one.
followed it.
So what are the great learnings from the airport, sir, to you? The qualities which helped you to grow in life, to lead a successful life in life. What are the things you have learned from the airport, sir?
No, there is one thing which is very, very evident. One is that, we should not compare ourselves with somebody else. Maybe your colleague, maybe your coursemate, maybe somebody senior, maybe junior. The moment you start comparing, then you may be led to a wrong kind of a action. Somebody is doing well, better than you. You want to pull him down or something like that. Those kind of things can happen.
Yeah, we should never compare with anybody, and we should compete with ourselves, not with others. Right, sir?
That's right. You do your job to the best of your ability, and I
Sir.
think that everything will take care of itself.
Perfectly fine, sir. Very good. Well said. So how many years you served in Indian Force, sir? For about 29, 30 years?
Yeah, I was 29 years, 6 months, and some 15 days or something like that.
Sir. So what did you do, sir, after leaving the service?
I flew with the Gujarat Airways for till about 99. From about 96 onwards till 99, about 3
Sir.
years, I served with the Gujarat Airways. I flew with
Sir.
them, the transport aircraft.
Okay.
And that was that.
Okay. Employment or any social work, sir?
No, I was flying with them.
Okay. So after that, sir, after 99, after leaving from the Gujarat Airway, whatever the airline.
No, after that, I started looking after. Actually, while I was in flying with the Gujarat Airways, I was also, simultaneously working on my farm,
Okay.
which is about 50 kilometers from Pune towards Lonavala. It is about 20 kilometers from Lonavala, a place called
Sir.
Kamshet.
Oh,
There is a family land is there, and even now I am looking after it.
Okay. So how did Air Force help you to navigate your life in real life situations, sir?
No, the Air Force got
Did
me
a successful
into-
or peaceful or life?
No, before joining the Air Force, we had no clue about what the life was about. I
Sir.
was a student in school, college, and things
Sir.
like that. But after I left the Air Force, I had got enough experience about the man management and the kind of people that you come across.
Okay.
There are some good people, there are some bad people, there are some very friendly people, and there are some nasty people.
Okay, sir.
And one
So,
has to live with them.
all kinds of people are there always, everywhere.
Yeah.
So we have to handle in our own way a brief interaction with our air warriors. Like now you can see HFO, sir, Honorary Flying Officer Bhupinder Singh Sethi Sahab, sir. I think, Bosgar, you can introduce yourself to our today's chief guest, our Sardesai, Group Captain Sardesai, sir.
Sir, I am Subhash Chandra Bose from Hyderabad, and I was radar fitter and took voluntary retirement 15 years as a sergeant, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Subhash Chandra Bose garu. Yeah, others also, I request others also to introduce themselves till all the people come on the call and we can start the main action. Ramesh Saab, Jedabla Ramesh garu, then Rajinikanth Damble Saab. Good evening, sir. Vinkamat Karnik, sir. So nice
good
seeing
evening.
again.
Yeah. Hello, Hemant.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening. How are you?
Oh, absolutely fine.
Oh, looking forward. All well in health and happiness.
That is right. Absolutely fine.
Vadgaon Sheri.
That is true.
Okay, looking forward to your talk.
Desai, sir, our real pattern is our Vinkamat Karnik, sir. Right from the day one, he has been a regular participant and gives a lot of encouragement to all the speakers also. I think being the senior most in the entire lot. So, thank you so much, sir, for joining again, Vinkamat Karnik, sir.
Yeah, our happiness.
Group Captain Das, sir, good evening and welcome. Jai Hind, sir.
Jai
Das,
Hind,
Jai Hind. Now, yeah, I welcome all our air warriors on the call now today for today's webinar on 1971 war series. So today's main speaker is our group captain Sardesai sir. So he is from Pune, served in Indian Air Force for about 29 and a half years, retired as a group captain. Thereafter also he was doing flying in Gujarat Airways for about 3 years, and he now takes care of his own farm near Pune. So let's all welcome our 1971 war hero group captain Sardesai sir. Welcome, sir.
Thank
Welcome
you.
to today's webinar. So we would like to know about your journey into Air Force and thereafter into war and your experience in Air Force and primarily how and why you joined Air Force. Yes, sir. You may take us through your
Okay,
journey.
I was in Bombay in college studying in the science stream, and in 1960 there was a air show on Marine Drive, that is on the seafront. They had erected targets in the sea, and Tufanis and vampires and Misters and some other aircraft came and did some firing from air onto the targets which are in the sea. And subsequent to that, there was aerobatics at a low altitude by a Howard aircraft flown by, I forget, a Parsi gentleman who was the captain, wing commander. I forget his name now, but he had done, and all those were very, very impressive spectacles.
So when you were a student that time.
I was a student in college at that time.
Okay,
Then
sir. Where was
after
you, sir? Where were you studying? Where were you
I was in
studying?
Bombay Wilson College.
Oh, okay, sir. Yes, sir.
So after that, I shifted to Pune for engineering, diploma in engineering, and during that phase, I was a witness to some low flying by Hunter aircraft operating from Pune Air Force Station, and that was they were out at a low level, and I was so impressed with the very majestic display of flying by these two aircraft. Not that they were doing any display for anybody, but it was just I happened to be there, and they did maneuvers like turning left, turning right, zooming up and things like that. And I was totally impressed, and I said that is the time I took a decision that I will now get to flying.
So that was the source of inspiration for you to join in Indian Force.
That is right. That is absolutely right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And then I realized that I had to go through the UPSC examination, that is Union Public Service Commission examination.
Sir.
And I went about trying to get the details, and I appeared for the exam. And there was one Major Damle in Pune. He used to take classes for preparing students, preparing young boys for NDA and other UPSC exams. And I attended those, and I got through fairly well.
Very good. Okay.
In the UPSC exam, I was undergoing that process during 62, beginning of 62, and
Sir.
my exam, UPSC exam, was in 62, October, November.
Was it NDA or CDS, sir?
No, this is direct entry into the Air Force.
Okay, sir. Right, sir. Okay.
It was not NDA. NDA, I was slightly overage for going to NDA.
Okay.
So I prepared myself, and I got in.
Got it. Okay, sir. Excellent.
And then after that, I joined Coimbatore Air Force Administrative College.
Sir.
That time, this Nandi Minocha was also there along with us, but he had joined, I think, 3 months later than us. But in any case, so we joined there, spent about 3 months there, and after 3 months, we were sent to Madras Flying Club to fly 25 hours of what is the aircraft now? Forgot.
Okay, no issue, sir.
Institute, sir.
It was Tiger Moth.
Okay.
Tiger
So
Moth, okay.
I did 25 hours of flying on Tiger Moth, after which we were sent to Allahabad for HT2 flying. HT2 was the Indian-made aircraft by HAL, and after those 25 hours there, we were sent to Jodhpur for Howard and Texan flying. I mean, progressively we were going on a bigger and faster aircraft. And at the end of that Jodhpur period, we had a gap of about 45 days because there were some other courses ahead of us had not passed out. So we had to wait for a while to go get to Hakimpet for the jet training wing.
Okay.
On Vampire aircraft.
Okay, sir.
And that we finished in by May 65. And 16th May 65 we got commissioned.
Okay. I think you were flying so many types of aircraft, sir, progressively.
Pardon?
So you were flying in the course of the training. You were given training in lot of kinds of aircraft, starting from Tiger Moth. What is the starting, sir?
That is right. Tiger Moth, followed by HT2.
HT2.
After that, Howard, Texan. I flew the Texan. Some people went to Howard,
Okay.
and from then we went to Vampires for jet and fighter flying that way.
So is it common for all the pilots like this, sir, flying different kinds of aircraft?
That is right. That is right. If there was any kind of problem, maybe some people opted out. They wanted to go to helicopters or transport aircraft, but then they had to go through this process after.
Okay.
And if they were given their choice after the
Sir.
Howard stage, they were sent. If the instructors or the Air Force felt that the person was suitable for the fighters, he was sent to fighters. If not, then he was sent to transport or helicopter.
Okay, sir. Okay, fine, sir. Yes, sir. Thereafter, after training, where was your first posting, sir?
My first posting was in 221 Squadron in Kalaikunda.
Kalaikunda. Okay.
And we were there at Kalaikunda during the 65 war.
Oh, okay.
And in front of our eyes, we saw the vampires which we were supposed to take to Barakpur for the instructors were coming back from training establishments to to use the aircraft as a weapon, and go into Bangladesh or that time it was East Pakistan.
East Pakistan, yes, sir.
But then these aircraft were destroyed on the ground by these sabers.
Oh, okay.
Four sabers came and they attacked all these aircraft, which were exposed basically. And why they were exposed? Because we were told that the cloud base was very low, and because of our low experience, I would say, not inexperience, but low experience, they said we will wait till the weather clears a little bit.
Okay.
That is how the thing happened.
So did you participate in 65 war, sir?
No, participate in the sense, yeah, we were there, but I mean, we couldn't fly because of our lack of experience and lack of training, to fire any weapons or any such thing.
Okay. Right, sir. Then what about your experience in 65, sir? Doing ground duties kind of thing?
We saw for the first time, we saw some firing from the air, actual live firing on the aircraft and live firing. They were firing basically they were attacking the exposed aircraft. They were Canberras across the runway, and they were vampires towards, near the ATC in Kalaikunda. Say, I don't know whether they got any Canberras, but they must have seen them because Canberra being a very big aircraft, and then we didn't have any covered blast panes those days.
Okay, sir. Okay. So fine, sir. Then
I'm certain that they got a few Canberras because at one stage there was some this thing that about 7-8 aircraft were damaged.
Oh my God. Okay. So what is the end effect of the war, sir? In from the Air Force perspective, 65 war.
No, actually we were too young, and we just didn't understand what the thing was. To give you example, there was air combat right on top of Kalaikunda.
Oh my God. Okay.
The Hunters were being flown by some of our Air Force pilots, and most of them were from 14 Squadron, which was co-located. We were co-located with 14 Squadron.
Sir.
And the combat, we didn't understand what was going on. We heard the firing by the aircraft. The aircraft was firing, we couldn't really make out. The combat was in, but the aircraft, the combat was at such low altitude, the aircraft used to vanish and disappear behind the hangars because we were on the ground and the hangars came in between, depending upon where the combat was taking place.
Okay. So you witnessed the live action, sir?
Yeah, we saw the air combat, but we didn't understand very much because we saw both the aircraft, Pakistani as well as the Hunters. Because Hunters we recognized because we were, flying along with the other squadron on the station.
Okay. Yeah, that's all about the 65 parts, sir. 65 war. So what about, I think, 71 war, sir, in which you were granted with gallantry award of Veer Chakra for your action in defending our country. So just can you take us through the 71 war journey of yours, sir? Where were you posted at that point of time?
No, I was was posted in Tezpur in 4th Squadron, Urials, and the Urials are now going to celebrate their 80 years of existence, continuous existence, from the inception. They were in 1942 or 41, 4th Squadron was formed.
Oh,
And
nice.
it is going to be this January,
80th.
1st February, they will complete 80
Sir,
years.
sir.
And also simultaneously 50 years of the 71 war in December. So that
Okay.
celebration is also being planned.
Sir.
Talking about my stay in 4th Squadron, I was posted in 1968 September, and I had just done completed my MiG-21, what you can call it, conversion, and then I was put through the regular normal training, day flying, night flying, rocket firing, front gun firing. Of course, the front guns, the MiG-21 didn't have front guns, but we dropped 75 kg practice bombs, and we didn't go any higher than that till the war started. So the war actually started for us on the 4th. We got an intimation that this is going to be a war. It was not going to be a red herring, so to say, that we are going to fight, we are going to fire, we are going to have a war with this thing. But it actually happened, and we did our flying on the 4th, starting on the 4th.
What were the aircraft you were flying, sir, during wartime?
MiG-21.
Oh, advanced ones by that time.
That is right. That is right.
So yes, sir. Well, so I think you flew, I think, more than 20 sorties.
That is right. I did a 21 sorties during day,
Sir.
and there was one sortie at night.
Okay, sir. Can you take us through your that sorties, the important sorties of your 71 war?
Please say again. Your thing was cut off.
Can you describe your important sorties, sir, in detail?
Okay, I will give you the first day on the 4th. I did 3 sorties of army cooperation. That means the army needed some support from the Air Force. They had put the requirement through the command headquarters, and we were allotted the task. Rajinderganj, Mahenderganj area is towards the northeast in Bangladesh.
Okay, sir.
So we went
Rajinderganj and Mahenderganj. Yes, sir.
Mahenderganj.
Yes, sir.
Rajinderganj, Mahenderganj. These are two co-located small villages, but the Pakistan Army Brigade headquarters was in that area.
Acha, position in there. Okay, sir.
So we were asked to attack Brigade headquarters, but of course from air we didn't see. But that was the first ever experience, as far as I was concerned, of seeing ground fire coming at me.
Oh, for the first time facing the ground fire.
So I not that I was scared or any such thing, but I just blurted out on the radio that these guys are firing at us.
Yes, sir.
And Suresh Ratnaparki, my flight commander, he was annoyed because we had broken the radio silence. He said, "What do you expect? Chocolates?" So
good.
So that was in a way a little this thing for me. And then after that, I kept my mouth shut throughout the rest of the.
Okay.
So that was one thing.
I think that was the excitement because you are new at that point. Yeah, for the first time seeing that.
First exposure to a war situation and somebody firing at us. That was the first this thing.
Yes, sir.
And that sortie was those 2 sorties were very important in a way because the brigade headquarters was kind of damaged very badly.
Okay.
The Indian Army caught something like 160 soldiers. I mean, prisoners of war.
Great. How many aircrafts were in the formation, sir? In that formation?
The first sortie was in the morning at about 9:30 or so. There were 4 of us, myself, and there were 2 other, Rajit Bhavnani and Subhash Bhojwani, not Bhojwani, Rastogi. So we 4 of us were there, and then we were asked to repeat the strike because they probably saw that the brigade headquarters was preparing to withdraw from there. So we repeated. After about 2.5 hours, and we attacked the same place. And that time we had a forward controller, FAC, who was an Air Force officer who was with the Indian Army, and he helped the Army selecting the target and guiding us if we were on the target or we had to shift or aim to left, right, or forward, backward, wherever. So
can you remember his name, sir? Forward controller name?
No, I have not yet been able to identify who that person was.
Okay, sir. Okay, right, sir.
every dive that I did, he kept saying number 2, damn good, that is the target, that is the target. And
Oh,
so we repeated the sortie afterwards, and then my station commander, he said, let Hemu go because he's seen something. Now you let Hemu fire and you fire where he's firing.
okay.
So that was the result of after the second sortie. I think they decided, the brigade headquarters decided to withdraw from there. And a brigade headquarters, when it withdraws a long distance. So the task
Okay,
of the
okay.
Indian Army became a little easier after that
Yeah, no,
sortie.
I think mainly because of the air raid, sir. They withdrew from there, scared of the air
Yes,
raids.
yes, yes. There must have been ground fire from Indian Army also.
Okay,
But
okay.
the effect was possibly more and more damaging because we were fairly accurate in our whatever we were doing.
That's good, sir. Good, great. Yes, sir. So, like that, how many? I think. What about other sorties, sir? This is one.
This was the first day I did 3 sorties. That out of these 2 were there and one was in some other place. After that,
Great,
during the war, I did total of 21 sorties during the day and 1 sortie at night.
sir. What is the significance of other sorties, sir?
Yeah, the other sorties was, on the 6th, we were told, because on the first day, a lot of aircraft were damaged due to the ground fire from when they were attacking the Dhaka airport. So they said, okay, instead of doing the firing the rockets or guns at the low, because for these 2 weapons you have to come very low, closer to the ground,
Sir,
and that is why the aircraft got damaged because of the attack and the other ground fire.
sir.
So then they decided that we will do steep glide bombing. That
Okay,
means the aircraft comes from a height of about 12,000 feet,
okay.
about 3.5 kilometers above,
Yeah.
and come in a dive at 45 degrees angle.
Okay, sir.
And then
To
we drop the bombs during that process. And
okay.
the first strike that we did, there was the wing commander Bishnoi and Vinod Bhatia and Suresh Ratnaparki and myself. 4 of us were there, and
Okay.
the damage was so extensive, and they couldn't take any take off anymore from the Tezgaon runway. And we dropped this M62 bombs, which had just been inducted. We had no practice, but I think our aiming was or the flying was quite reasonable, and we managed to hit all the bombs on the runway.
Oh, that's great, sir. So now, what was your rank, sir? You were a flight lieutenant at that time? 71
I was
Mark.
I was flight lieutenant, and actually it was in a way lucky that I had just in some November of 1971 I had become a fully operational pilot day and night.
Oh, that's great, sir.
So
What about
so
Bishnoi sab and another Bhatia sab, sir? And fortunately, they are also coming for our function. Yeah.
Yeah, he was commanding 28 Squadron, which was a sister squadron on Tezpur,
Okay,
in
sir.
Tezpur. And we had, actually initially to make it equal opportunity for both the squadrons, Group Captain Wallen, he said, okay, 2 aircraft from one squadron and 2 aircraft from the other squadron. The one was 28 Squadron and one was 4
Okay.
Squadron. So they were Bishnoi and Bhatia, and on the other side, Ratnaparki and myself. So that is how
Okay.
the squadrons were. And we had the escorts. They were also similarly 2 aircraft from 28 Squadron and 2 aircraft from 4 Squadron. And
Okay.
we did repeat these sorties every time we saw any kind of repair taking place on these bomb craters. The
Sir.
2 runways, one was Tezgaon and Kurmitola, which is like you have is a very, very close vicinity of Tezgaon.
Sir.
Actually, Tezgaon was a international runway also, and I think this Kurmitola runway was just being commissioned. So we bombed that also. Like I remember doing about 3 sorties on Tezgaon runway and another 2 or 3 sorties on Kurmitola runway, dropping bombs.
Okay, sir. So, any other sorties you can remember?
Yeah, there were quite a few. Actually, we had the night sortie was because the radar in Indian radar that had seen a transport aircraft landing at a place called Narsingdi. Narsingdi
Sir.
was about 40 kilometers from Dhaka town, and this was a very small runway, which like you have runways in tea states. So that was a very small
Sir.
runway, but that aircraft could land there, and the idea
Okay.
or whatever they had managed to identify was that this aircraft had come to take the General Niazi and other top brass of the Pakistan
Pakistan
Army
Army. Yes, sir.
back to Capt in Burma.
Oh, okay, okay.
So that was their plan. And when we got to know this, three of us did the sortie, myself, Ajit Bhavnani, and I think G. Bala. G. Bala, unfortunately, is no more. So we fired the air-to-air missiles on a ground target. Though we didn't know where the target was, but
Sir.
we were gonna, input that from Dhaka you fly on a particular direction for about 3-4 minutes or something like that, and fire your missile on the ground like a small dive, so that explosion will be heard and the flash will be seen. And if the aircraft that missile lands on the runway, fine enough. But that was a good indication to the mercenary pilot that he was seen and he was going to be in danger if he didn't leave. And so he left early morning at about 5:30. He must have taken off. At that time we couldn't have attacked that runway, which we attacked at about 7 o'clock.
Sir.
That was that 4 aircraft went there, and we destroyed that runway also.
Okay. What was the last sortie in the war, sir, during 71 war? On which date it was from your side?
Last sortie of 71 war. Now,
So the war ended on 16th. Surrender was held.
last sortie was
14th,
Dhaka University. Myself and Ajit Bhavnani, we went with rockets. We rocketed because the army was hiding in the university, Dhaka University.
Sir.
So we attacked that place, and before that, on the 14th, we had attacked the governor's house, Dhaka.
Were you part of that governor's house attack?
That is right. That is right.
Okay.
There were four aircraft when we attacked there, and that was on the 14th.
Okay.
Bala and myself, and on the other side, of course, there was a gap between our formation attacking, and before that was Bishnoi and I think Raghavachari.
Great, sir. That was a great attempt. I think that changed the entire game of the war.
Yeah, I think there was a gap of about 30 seconds or 45 seconds or something like that, because we didn't want to interfere in their attack, Bishnoi and Raghavachari. But we managed to, because we changed direction. So every part of that bungalow, the governor's house, was attacked by us, and every time we fired about 8 missiles, so that there was a concentration of fire also.
I think what is the impact of that particular attack, sir? How it changed the game?
The next day, Niazi agreed to surrender. What else can we?
So crucial was the attack of that governor's bungalow.
Yeah.
So we salute you, sir, on behalf of all our airwords at the call for your exceptional bravery, and which in fact changed the course of the war itself.
No, we did our job. We were told go fire, we fired.
Yes, yeah,
I think
we are told that is the most crucial operation which changed the entire, which scared our General Niaji to come around and surrender that escalated the surrender process. I see, it seems.
Actually, I must give you a little input about the steep glide bombing that we used to do on the runways. They had positioned the ACACs, the 4 guns, 4 barrels together.
Yes,
the Chinese squads, they were called, and they used to fire. All 4 used to fire simultaneously at a gap of maybe a very fraction of a second, and they used to continuously fire. And where they were at the beginning of the runway as well as at the other end. If we attack from one side, the one was effective which was closer, and as we were pulling out, the other guns became effective as we pulled out of the dive. But every time initially when we went,
then how did you manage, sir? How did you manage escaping from those ACAC shots, sir?
No. There was no escaping. We just did our dives wherever we were supposed to. And we used to see the ACAC exploding at a distance. And as we kept going down closer to the ground, these ACACs, the shells used to burst. They used to get closer to the aircraft. And well, we used to say, oh, now bach gaya. Nothing happened to us.
Great, sir. So now, in fact, there is a citation. I mean, you have been, you are granted with Veer Chakra Award. So what does the citation speaks for you, sir? Unfortunately, I am traveling. I can't read out. Can you just briefly tell about the citation which describes your activity?
The citation basically talked about the number of sorties that I did for the Army Cooperation, as well as the bombing sortie, the night sortie, and Army Cooperation sorties. So they combined it, about 5 sorties here, 10 sorties there, and things like that, and then added up to 22 sorties.
That's really great, sir.
Yeah.
Our salute to you for your bravery once again.
Thank you.
So, okay, sir. after the war, okay, so you are a war hero, you become a war hero, and your bravery was rightly recognized and Veer Chakra awarded by the government. So after the, how did you feel after winning the war, sir?
We did our job. That's about all.
There must be a great deal of celebration of success.
No, at least at that time we didn't know. We only got to know on the 16th. Or 16th, we knew that there was a surrender ceremony taking place
Sir.
in Dhaka,
Sir.
and that the Pakistan army had surrendered. We didn't know the details. Got to know
Acha,
only much
okay,
later.
okay. Now we have some of the air warriors on our group, in our group, like Wing Commander Krishnamurthy sir, helicopter pilot, and again Air
Okay.
Commodore Sridharan sir. I think they were
Okay.
witness to the surrender ceremony also in Dhaka. They also explained about it previously. Anyway, sir, okay,
Yeah.
you participated in the war and you proved your medal. Then what is the other experience in Indian Air Force after 71? Also, you served for I think more than nearly 20 years or so. So, what was your experience in Indian Air Force, sir?
No, later on when I kept moving from one place to the other,
Sir.
and I continued with the MiG-21.
Sir.
Then, depending upon what the for air headquarters needed, then I went to back to Hunters to train younger pilots in OCU, Hunter
Okay.
OCU.
Okay.
And after that, I retired in 94.
94, sir.
Yeah.
So, after 29 years and 6 months, whatever it is, 29 and a half years.
Yeah.
So yes, sir. Then how did Air Force help you to lead a successful life in life, sir?
Well, you get to know a lot of things as far as the human relationships are concerned. That how to recognize a person, good, bad, or ugly, or whatever. So that is one part. And then you manage your money.
Financial management.
Financial management, because as an individual, firstly you learn because you are not getting great pay, but great amount of money. But gradually, of course, the pay scales have improved. Today, I suppose it is really, really good.
Yes, sir. Really good after 7th pay cut. Yes, sir.
Yeah, but we didn't have that benefit. But subsequent to and the management at a station, so that was good training in a way.
I think, sir, like me, I was a village boy with a rural background when I joined the Air Force without having any knowledge about the society kind of thing. But if, within the 15 years of time in which I was trained and in the Air Force, it's in fact totally transformed my life, my outlook to the life. I think with that way also, it must have transformed your life from being somebody to, nobody to somebody kind of thing because of the Air Force environment.
No, as a person, I became very much, what should I say, knowledgeable on the technical aspects of flying, technical aspects of the aircraft, and man management, basically.
So, okay, fine, fantastic, sir. So, what are your great learnings from Air Force?
Great learning is just that you have to do a job, That's it.
Yes, okay, sir.
Yeah, because I'll tell
So
you,
if we have to,
before the war started, we painted the aircraft. The MiG-21s were painted with camouflage kind of colors. And who painted the aircraft? Us pilots.
Oh, that's great. Yes, sir.
And there was of course assistance from other people, but other people said technical lot was working on getting the aircraft ready, and they didn't have time to waste on painting the aircraft. So we also helped in painting the aircraft, whatever pattern that was decided at that time. So that was a very interesting part of war preparations, I would call it.
Okay. So fine, sir. And also in the war, only pilots are now the only deeds of the pilots are highlighted because the risk you take, and you are in the front end. From the back end, we have a lot of our air warriors supporting you, that crew and all, technical crew and all. So how do you assess their contribution for the war, sir?
I'll tell you one thing, that these the number of aircraft that were produced and the number of aircraft which were maintained in good health, the technically good health was tremendous, because we didn't have any shortage of aircraft during that process. We had something like about 10 or 11 aircraft. 2-3 aircraft were always generally on AOG.
Sir.
And they definitely there were effort by the technical lot to produce more aircraft and keep them flying. Or there were repairs carried out overnight, when there were some aircraft where had bullet holes and things like that. So those repairs were carried out without any hesitation, and within a very short period.
It means all our crew or technicians need a lot of credit for the success of the war.
That is right. That is without them we couldn't have done anything. I mean, I
Yeah.
can
So there are
maximum I could have refueled the aircraft, but besides that, nothing.
Yeah. So in fact, they are also practically say they are unsung heroes. So they are working behind the screen. So that way
Right.
we should also I should salute to the services of all our technicians during the war
Yes.
who helped the all the pilots to go for the war as and when required and make all these aircraft serviceable and keep them ready for your operations. Yes, sir.
That is right.
So, and sir, if you want to give a message to the youngsters, so what would be your message to our all our various air warriors on the call and the youngsters?
All that I can say is that do your job as what is allotted to you,
Do your
to
job.
the best of your ability.
Do your job as allotted and to the best of your ability. Yeah, good message, sir. Thank you. Then,
Yeah.
sir, after leaving the service in '94, did you take up any other employment?
Yes,
You said.
I was flying with Gujarat Airways. I did some transport flying, and I did some flying with Gujarat Airways till 1999.
Yes, sir. Okay.
I started flying at about 96.
Oh.
And then, for 2.5, 3 years, I was with Gujarat Airways, and then I left.
So then, what are you doing, or what were you doing, sir, after leaving? Anything? Any other vocation?
I am a farmer.
Oh,
I grow rice. And initially I grew wheat, and then I switched over to sugarcane.
So Jai Jawan to Jai Kisan, you gone back.
Yes, absolutely.
Great, sir, great. So yeah, thank you so much, sir, for narrating your journey into Air Force and seeing that 71 war in action and awarded with the Veer Chakra kind of a bravery award. So I think on behalf of all our Air Warriors, Khan, I again salute you and honor you for your bravery, sir, for your one amazing journey in Indian Force. So now we'll take some questions from our. Can we take some questions from our Air Warriors and the call, sir? Now, so I would like to tell your name only, sir. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Nandi Minocha. I am retired Air Commodore, and
welcome, sir. Welcome.
My very famous course mate.
Sir.
You had asked one or two questions, and if I can, answer them on behalf of Hemu. The pilot who shot down the Sabre in 65 war was Flight Lieutenant Alfred Cook.
Oh, yes.
Okay,
sir.
and and his number 2 was Flying Officer Mamgain.
Okay, sir.
And he also was number 2, and this was a very famous fight, all at deck level. I was not in Kalaikunda. I was posted in Pune at that time, and I was FAC in 65 war in the JNK sector in Nowshera. I was in the pickets with Gorkha, regiment as a forward air controller to guide our aircraft. Anyway, that's now we, all of us joined in the aftermath of 62 Chinese debacle, and all our course mates, we were all in the higher age bracket, and that's how most of us have retired as squad leader, wing commander, and as air commodores maximum. Okay, and people moved on to civil flying and so many other areas. But I must share with you one more thing. You were asked a question on the citation of my dear course mate Hemu, and I just opened this Bharat Rakshak, and this is can I read if I can
kindly,
read?
Sir. In fact, I was to read, but I'm
it says during the operations against Pakistan in December 71, Flight Lieutenant Hemant Sharat Kumar Sardesai was serving with the Fighter Squadron. On 3rd December to 16th December 71, he flew 11 sorties of counter-air missions, 8 sorties of offensive air support missions, and 3 sorties of air defense missions. In one of the offensive support air missions, he was responsible for locating and directing an attack at well-camouflaged enemy headquarters bunkers between Rajinderganj and Mahenderganj, which resulted in the capture of enemy headquarters and about 160 enemy personnel. In counter-air operations, his contribution was unique. On 6 December 71, he was in the first bomb strike mission over Tezgaon Airfield, rendering it inoperative. And then on the night of 12th December, he attacked a ghost airfield at Narsingdi, followed by attack, day bombing, and rendered the aircraft unserviceable. He was also in the formation that struck the vital military target at Dacca on 14th, and he was in the first formation that struck the enemy troop concentration in Dhaka Dacca University, which accelerated the surrender of Pakistan, forces in Bangladesh. And in his action, he was, for displaying gallantry, professional skill, and devotion to duty, he was awarded the Veer Chakra. So that was the citation.
Sir, amazing efforts during
So
wartime.
let's give a big hand to Hemu for
Yeah,
this thing.
definitely,
And,
sir. He deserves it.
And
Thank you, sir.
I also wish to share that we had, 5 other course-mates, who also
Sir.
got Veer Chakras in 71. It's
Oh,
very
that's
rare.
great, sir. That's great.
And I'll give the names. Ramesh Gosai. This was in Longewala when he
Yes, sir.
attacked the famous Patton tanks. While operating
Yes,
from
sir. Yes, sir. Our
while operating from
yes, sir.
Jaisalmer.
And
Okay.
Group Captain
And-
Das was also one among them.
Yeah,
Group
there
Captain
was
Das.
line number Wing Commander Suresh, and of course that time, it became a famous battle of Longewala. So many
Yes, sir.
heroes there. Okay. Then the other person from ground attack who got, first I'll give the ground attack. Hemu was there, then Gosai, then Jagu Saklani flying the Sukhois in the western
Oh,
sector. He got the
okay.
Veer Chakra. He settled in
Oh, great.
Australia. He
All
settled-
in the same course, from the same course.
he settled, of course, man. He settled in Perth, Australia, and I'm in touch with him, very regular touch.
Great, sir. Great.
Okay, then in air to air, we had 3 famous heroes. The first in 71 war was from operating from Dum Dum Airport was Ganapati.
Oh.
Okay, when they shot down in one mission, when Roy Andrew Massey, Ganapati, and Lazarus. Okay,
Yes,
they
sir.
shot down 3 sabers.
Yes,
Okay.